Hey, Shalom, Shalom. Let me check the feed. Let me check and see. So- Hey, Shalom, Shalom. All right. Uh, Let me see. Here's the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, and verse 16. It says, "But now they desire a better country, that is, in heavenly. Wherefore Yahweh Shah is not ashamed to be called their power, for he hath prepared for them a city." I want to start by, of course, giving our honor, praise, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kakadash, the one to the elder apostle, great millstone, who want to teach well. Because I shalom to everybody tuning in, listening, and learning. Just getting right into it, as you can see through the title. Now they desire a new country. You know what I'm saying? The elect. And the elect that's on the earth, that's in the fear of the Lord now. Every single last one of them, want the kingdom of heaven to come, and want, want, the things that's spiritual and rich in Yahweh Bashar Shai to flourish on the earth, and want everything that's wicked and that's ruling by default, you know, to you know, for those prophecies to come to pass on this wicked kingdom, you know. And I'm gonna read this one more time. This book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 16. It says, "But now they desire a better country, that is in heavenly." Well, let's start up a little bit. We're gonna start at verse of 15, 14. All right, this is the book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 14, so we can get the context. It says, "For they that say such things," let me see. I'll start at verse 13. It says, because this is the brothers pull this book out a lot, dealing with faith. You know what I'm saying? The first couple of verses will tell you, faith is the evidence of things hoped for, not seen. And that's what the elect, that'll be on the earth is going to walk by faith. They're not going to walk by any type of carnal mind, because we all in the flesh, knowing that the flesh can go there with you. The flesh can get carnal. The flesh can think carnal. The flesh can move carnal. You know what I'm saying? So we all, trying to be in that spirit of being spiritually, spiritual. When you go to the book of Galatians, chapter 5 and verse 5, what I'm saying? The scriptures tell you that, what I'm saying, it's a battle between the flesh and the spirit. Matter of fact, let's get that for edification. This book, Galatians chapter 5 and verse 5. It says, for we through the Spirit wait for the hope of righteousness by faith. Slacky, this is not what I was looking for, but actually, this is the perfect precept. I'm gonna read this one more time. This is Galatians chapter 5, verse 5. It says, "For we through the Spirit wait for hope of righteousness by faith." Right, and once again, when you go back to that Hebrews 11, I'm gonna start verse 1. I'm not gonna read all of it, but we'll start verse 1. It says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." Right, and we don't see, what I'm saying, a golden kingdom, what I'm saying, wherein dwelleth righteousness, where you can have multiple wives, and, what I'm saying, your children can fly, and, what I'm saying, like, we don't see that, what I'm saying. We just see us having to get up in the morning, every fucking morning, what I'm saying, to just go, to work for some wages that's not even worth the time, what I'm saying. Um, but we gotta see that, what I'm saying. We gotta have that tunnel vision to know, like, the Lord is coming back, no doubt about it. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures say, "Though I tarry, wait for it," and that's what we desire. That's what we waiting for. We waiting for the redemption to become. You know what I'm saying? Re meaning again, and deem meaning to like buy. You know what I'm saying? Um, or redeem meaning to buy back. Um, that's what that word means. Redeem, to buy back. You know. All right, now let's read that again. That was a dope precept. This is the book of Hebrews. I mean Galatians chapter 5 and verse 5. I started verse I started verse 4. It says, Yahushua is become no effect unto you, whosoever of you are justified by the law. And you can read Romans 8, you know what I'm saying, the first couple of verses going into that, how we not justified by the law because Yahushua did what he did, you know what I'm saying, to clear up all of the blemish that was on the nation of Israel by sacrificing, you know what I'm saying, being that, you know what I'm saying, lamb, without blemish, taking all the spots out of the nation of Israel. So now we gotta, you know what I'm saying, we can come back into the fold with Yahweh with a clean garment, you know what I'm saying. It says, whosoever of you are justified by the law, ye are fallen from grace, right? So yeah, there, and we are living in that grace period now. So if you're still sitting out here, you know what I'm saying, when we're approaching the time of Jacob's trouble, you're sitting up here still talking about, you know what I'm saying, the law, the law, the law. You know what I'm saying? Let's see how much of the law is going to profit you, you know what I'm saying, when that time of trouble actually comes, you know what I'm saying? Because once again, we're in the flesh. The law does not abide in the flesh. You know what I'm saying? Maybe those spiritual bodies would, well, yeah, definitely those spiritual bodies. The scriptures, we're going to have the law imprinted in us, but that's not going to be until the destruction of Babylon the Great. You still got prophecies that's going to come to pass before that one. So right now we have to endure in this flesh, Romans 7, you know what I'm saying, last couple of verses where Yahushua, I mean, well, not Yahushua, but our forefather, you know, um, was mentioning how he got he basically like a thorn in the flesh, he got, the parts worn with, his members, which is that flesh. The flesh wants to do wicked, you know what I'm saying? We just have to keep it in and maintain, having morals and being disciplined. Those are things that keep the flesh bound, you know what I'm saying? But it still doesn't take away from the fact that we have to constantly bound our flesh, and discipline this and discipline that, because the world is not going to teach you to do the right way. You know, this is the book of Galatians chapter 5 and verse 5 again. It's like it says, for we through the Spirit wait for the hope of righteousness by faith. For in Yahushua neither circumcision availeth anything, nor circumcision, but faith, which worketh by love, right? And love is the scripture talk about love is the keeping of the commandments, right? So, you know what I'm saying, you have to keep the commandments, you know what I'm saying, but this flesh cannot keep them, and that's the point. You have to, you know what I'm saying, live by the law. You have to, you not live, but you have to do it to the best of your ability. Just to show that that's for showing that's a form of showing the Lord that you actually cares when you try to do it to the best of your ability, rather than just saying that you outright can do it easily when you in the flesh constantly, when you go off when you don't even know you going off. You know what I'm saying? All right, but even touching, like if you touch a virgin while she's on her period going off. When Esau allows, I mean not a virgin slacking. When you touch a woman while she's on her period, you're going off. Which Esau allows women on their period to be in the workforce. So you go to work and you might work in a warehouse, and here it is, one of your coworkers, she ain't saying, she just on the low, she's sitting up here cramping, and she touched something, and you touch that same thing, what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? You gonna tell her, you know what I'm saying? You gonna tell her that, you know what I'm saying? I can't touch you because I'm in the law. No, that's not gonna work. You might not even know that she's on her period. You know what I'm saying? But that just added to the point. You know what I'm saying? We can't keep this thing 100%. But you get, once again, you got a lot of hard headed guys that's just so bent on that. You know what I'm saying? Doctrine that, you know what I'm saying, you can you gotta keep the law. But once again, you can't keep the law in Esau perfect 100% in Esau's kingdom. But you know, but once again, going back to the point, you know what I'm saying, that those elect, you know what I'm saying, You know, besides all of the, suffering in the flesh and hardship and rebuke or whatever you're going through, we desire in that kingdom. We desire in that country, and we desire in those. Just like how you got this fleshly bodies, and we're gonna get that. You got these fleshly bodies in First Corinthians chapter 15. You got these fleshly bodies that's bound to going off. Those spiritual bodies are not going to be able to go off. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but I do got a precept for that. This is First Corinthians chapter 15 and verse I'll start at verse. I'll start at verse 39. It says, "All flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one kind of flesh of men, and another flesh of beasts." Right, the Lord is not going to put a man's spirit in an animal's body. It's two different fleshes. Maybe the Lord can judge a man like that, but that those are two different bodies. It says, another flesh of beasts, another of fishes, and another of birds. There are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial. But the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another, right? So you got celestial bodies and you got terrestrial. If I'm not mistaken, let me see this word celestial, just for edification. Let's see, yeah, celestial existing in heaven. So I'm guessing that terrestrial is existing on earth. Those are two completely different bodies. One of them is born on the earth. And of the earth. And the other one is born of the spirit. But you're still going to have spiritual bodies. That's going to be born on the earth. Because you're going to have 2/3 that's going to come back, and they're not going to come back in mortal bodies, because their loins, the loins that they come out of, are not going to be mortal. They're going to be immortal. Once again, we're going to be going to a whole nother phase of of living. Bodies that can endure forever. These bodies can only endure for about 100 years at the most. Um, in this time. But let's get back to some precepts. I want to go get back to the point, kind of sidetracked a little. All right, now this is the book of Romans, chapter 8, and I want to start at I want to start at this is the book of Romans, chapter 8, and let's start at verse 18. It says, "For I reckon that the suffering of this present time are not worthy. The sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory that shall be revealed in us." Right, and we going through things on this side, ailments in the flesh, and disagreements with your ex-rib or whatever the case is, children bucking up against you or whatever the fuck in this dumbass kingdom you just gotta deal with. It's not to be compared, with the glory that the Lord is gonna endue in His saints. They're gonna receive a great increase. For these works. Matter of fact, let's get that. This is First Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 58. It says, "Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord." Right, you got to continue in His work. Speaking to myself first and foremost, and it can be a battle, Like I done got sunk, Usually, I'm just fired up, fired up, fired up. But then you would have times, I might have times, I'm like, damn, I haven't, I need to do a lesson. I'm like, shit, But I need to read this. I need to go over my scriptures, or I need to go over my notes, or you gotta, we have to maintain and make sure that our work is the first priority. Speaking to myself first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? Because you can easily get sidetracked by multiple different things that's going on in this world. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how Esau's kingdom is set up on purpose for that. You know what I'm saying? To distract us from, you know what I'm saying, the goal, that narrow path. You know, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord, right? So our labor is not in vain. The amount of work that we putting forth in this truth, you know what I'm saying, stretching forth that fishing hook, so that other men can come into these labors, you know what I'm saying, it's not in vain. The Lord is you know, we're gonna get paid for our labor just as long as we don't stop it. You know what I'm saying? And we don't come before the Lord empty handed, you know what I'm saying, with his talents, you know, as far as putting them in the napkin. All right, now let's go back to the scripture. Romans chapter 8 and verse 18. It says, "For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared to with the glory that shall be revealed in us." The 19 is the point. "For the earnest expectation of the creature waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of power," right? And the whole creation is waiting for the manifestation of the sons of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you know, and that's what we waiting on. We waiting for a new country, a righteous country, a new kingdom. You know, we're waiting for the kingdom of heaven to, you know, to come on the earth and flourish. You know, even the earth and the creation. You know, the trees is waiting for this, right? The tree. Well, the scripture talk about how the trees are going to rejoice, right? Well, let's this is Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 8. It says, "Yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feather is come up against us," right? And Jacob is going to dwell in safety. There's not going to be anything that's going to be able to take Jacob down. You know, we're going to beat and put in subjection is none, and none is going to put us in subjection, man. You know, you got the war angels, you got your house shot, then you're going to have the elect, which is going to gain their power like your house shot did. So who's going to be able to stop, you know what I'm saying, those innumerable, immortal forces, man? You know, no one. You know, but I want to back that up, you know, that I mentioned, you know what I'm saying, you know, we're going to break down, you know what I'm saying? The upcoming kingdom is going to beat down, and none is going to be able to stop him. You know, um, well, I'm gonna get Daniel chapter 2. This is Daniel chapter 2, and I'll start at verse uh let me start at verse 32. Actually, no, I'll get to the point. 34. It says, "Thou sawest." Now, this is Daniel giving an interpretation of the dream of Nebuchadnezzar. And as you know what I'm saying, you had the head of gold, the chest of silver, um, the chest and breast of silver. Then you had the abdomen and the torso of bronze, like a, let me see. Brain section. I'll just start at verse 32 to get the point. It says, "This image's head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, and his feet of iron, and part of clay." Right, and this is describing the many kingdoms that will be foretold. You know what I'm saying? And, including the current kingdom at the time, Babylon. You know what I'm saying? With Nebuchadnezzar. You know what I'm saying? Being the head of that image. You know what I'm saying? The golden head. You know. Um, but then you got the breast and the arms of silver, referencing to the Mede and Persian Empire. His belly and his thighs of brass, that's referencing towards the Grecian Empire. It says his legs of iron, that's referencing to the Roman Empire. his feet part iron and part clay, and that's referencing to America, Babylon the Great, right? But this is the point. It says, verse 34: "Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet." Right, and the stone was cut out. You know what I'm saying? That smote that image, because when we get this kingdom, it's gonna smite any other kingdom, starting with Yahushua. When Yahushua come back, the scriptures say, come back with many crowns. He's gonna take the rulerships and power of all of these other men. You know what I'm saying? So-called kings, and he's going to take the dominion, you know what I'm saying, and they're going to have to seek unto him for power. The scripture talk about that. Let us go up into the mountain. I think that's Micah 2 or Malachi chapter 2. You know, let us go up to worship the Lord. You know, everybody's going to do that on the whole earth, but we're going to keep reading. When the scriptures say, if they don't, you know what I'm saying, they will receive no rain. You know, it says, "Thou sawest to that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image of his feet, um, that were of iron and clay, and break them in pieces. Then was the iron and the clay brass and silver and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors. And the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth," right? And you know, a mountain or a valley or a hill in the scriptures, throughout the scriptures, is symbolic for governments and powers and rulerships. You know, and this so and we're gonna you know, and this great mountain, this great stone, you know, that smote, you know, the image, right, became a great mountain, because the kingdom that's going to smite, you know what I'm saying, the image and the way of life of all of these different kingdoms that were named in his dream, in his vision, is going to smite them. It's going to take them out of the way, you know. And like the scripture say that we just read, the wind shall carry them away, that no place was found for them, because in the kingdom they're not going to be mentioned. You know, the only thing that's going to be mentioned in the kingdom is the greatest deliverance. You know what I'm saying? Which is going to be from America. You know what I'm saying? Babylon the Great. That'll be the only time that you will be hearing America be mentioned, is about how, you know what I'm saying, it was a great, very great deliverance. You know, um, it says, now let me jump down to verse. I'm gonna jump down to verse. Jump straight to verse 43, because for more context, art says, "And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay." Right, and that's talking about America once again. You can tell, because when you go about the streets of America, you don't just see one nation of people. When you're walking down the street in New York City, or you go to Houston, Texas, or you go to, you know what I'm saying, rural places like that, like, you know what I'm saying, famous, like not famous, but like well known, you know, places in America, you know, it's not just one nation of people. You don't go to New York and just see, you know what I'm saying, a bunch of Edomites roaming the street everywhere you go. You know what I'm saying? Every part of New York is only Edom, no, or only Moab, or only Chinese, or only Japanese, or only black. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, you go to New York, or you go to wherever, like a city like that, and it's multiple different types of people. You know, it's mingled. You know, they're mingled with all different you know, nations of people. You know, and that's also in the scriptures. He heapeth to unto himself all nations. You know what I'm saying, of people. That's what Esau did. You know what I'm saying. He took all, is all different. He has every single tribe. You know what I'm saying. throughout the scriptures, here in Babylon the Great, and that's because the Lord wants to judge. You know what I'm saying? He wants to judge those men that are here. Everybody that's here, the Lord wants to be here for that great judgment. You know, but it says, verse 44. And in the days of these kings shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom, which shall never be destroyed. Right, and that's the point. You know what I'm saying? Now he's describing that great stone. You know what I'm saying? Which turned into a mountain. He just you can read this on your own. You know what I'm saying? When you read those verses like 40 through 43, 44, he kind of gives, like, he doesn't go in depth and tell, you know what I'm saying, what it specifically, you know what I'm saying, these kingdoms were, the chest of silver, and the breast, I mean the abdomen of brass, you know what I'm saying. And also Daniel, you know what I'm saying, he probably still didn't know the full breakdown of that, you know what I'm saying, but I'm pretty sure he knows now. We all know now. We know the interpretation of that now, you know what I'm saying. But it says, and in the days of these kings shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom, which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but shall break in pieces and consume all the kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. Right. So once again, it says a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and that's what we're looking forward to, because we all, you know what I'm saying, grew up in America. We were raised by the American way, and you know what I'm saying, how to be the best, American as far as for our families or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But now we've come to the knowledge of, oh, this place gotta go, man. The Lord is about this place is extremely wicked, man, and the Lord is about to judge this place, man. You know, and it's temporary. You know, nobody's gonna outright come out and say, "Oh, America is temporary." You're not gonna hear nobody come on the news and say about that. That's like an uncomfortable topic. That's like a touchy, supposed to be like a touchy topic, that America is, just like any other country that's been on the earth for been had its point of rulership on earth. It came for a season and it went after the time was of its season was up, man. You know what I'm saying? But that's where the scriptures. That's where the scriptures take place. Where the scriptures talk about the Lord lifteth up and maketh low. You know what I'm saying? Roughly paraphrasing. But the Lord, He will lift the man up. You know what I'm saying? And what the scriptures say, pride before a fall. He lifts a king up, and then that king, because Esau definitely doesn't praise Yahweh Shemi Shai. So what do you think he's doing? He's being lifted up, just like the Yahweh Shemi Shai allowed him to be lifted up. He allowed him to capture the Israelites so that they can go into captivity. He allowed them to capture the Israelites so to captivity, and now you see what you see here, which is America, Babylon the Great. But now he's been fat off of that, because he's still thriving off of these petty little purchases that you have to make. These petty little, you know what I'm saying, speeches that he makes, about, what I'm saying, how, it's more taxes that got to come out and out of your check, and what I'm saying, this is the devil, man, and he just leash off of anything and everything that he can get his hands on, so that he can continue to live on the earth, in power. But the Lord is, once again, he sets up a rulership, and he takes it down as well. And that pride goes before the fall every time. Once you're a king, you're fat through all of the riches that you have, and you get proud. Nobody can tell you nothing. You know what I'm saying? And now you want everybody to worship you. And that's what happens. And now the Lord got to take you out of the game. Now it's time for your fall. Your pride is getting up there, and it's reaching its peak. you only can get so much pride before it just all falls down. But it says and it shall stand forever, right? It says, for as much as thou sawest that stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold. Also, this is symbolic for how the kingdom that's going to come is going to outdo any kingdom that ever been on the earth. You know what I'm saying? Through the Grecian, the nothing is going to be able to even be in comparison to how great the Yahweh Shah, the kingdom of heaven is going to be. You know, and it's going to be ruled by the Israelites. The Israelites that you see, today, the Lord's going to put them in the seat of power. You know what I'm saying? Starting with the house of David, the elect, right? It says and that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold. The great power have made known the King, which is Yahushua. What shall come? Oh no, it's like it. The great power have made known to the King, talking about Nebuchadnezzar, because Daniel gave him the interpretation of the dream. What shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure, right? Because interpretation of is interpretation of prophecy, so it has to be sure, you know. And once again, they probably still didn't understand fully the breakdown. You know, they probably just understood, um, that those different parts of the body that were divided in element were different kingdoms, because they didn't know anything about the Grecians, Greece and Rome were not thought of at the time. Nothing, no empire of Greece and Rome during the time, let alone America. So you know what I'm saying. But the Lord, you know what I'm saying, gave that interpretation, gave Daniel that interpretation, and through the Spirit, and he gave him the breakdown, so that we'll be able to understand this time now, you know. But let's get into some more precepts, um, and we're gonna close out. This is the Book of Psalms, chapter 2, and verse. I'll start at verse 7. Because once again, like we just read in Daniel chapter 2, that kingdom is not going to be destroyed, but it did break, uh, and it did break all of those kingdoms which were named, what I'm saying, in the stature, ultimately, the last, the one that's going to be smited is, that partly iron and partly clay, America, it says, it says, I will declare, Psalm 32 and verse 7, I will declare thee, I will declare the decree, O Lord, the Lord have said unto me, Thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. As of me, and ask of me, slip of the tongue, ask of me, and now I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Right. So, what I'm saying, the Lord is going to give the heathen for an inheritance. The scripture say, it's an easy thing for the Lord to give, a man, riches in the day of his death. Rough and paraphrasing, I'm probably butchering that, but I don't want to. We're not gonna get that. I'm gonna just keep moving on. It says, verse 8 is the point. It says, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Right. And when we go back to the book of Daniel, chapter 2, and verse what was that? In the wind. All right, now it says
Hello, Salaki. I was timing in on the live. Greece and Rome was thought of. They was ruled by the Japhites at first, but Esau took those lands over, and he started claiming himself being the Grecians and Romans. But the original Grecians and Romans was Japhet.
Kind of water,
But
and
as
that's
far as the kingdom of Esau ruling over it, that wasn't taking place yet. So like the brother was saying, yeah, they didn't understand the interpretations as far as what's going to be taking place in that particular time. They just knew that it represented different kingdoms. Just to clear it up on the video.
Kind of water. That was clutch. All right. Now this is going back to the book of Daniel, chapter 2 and verse what verse? Let me see. Verse. I can't remember what verse that is, but Lord's willing to come back to me. But this book of Psalms chapter 2 and verse 9, it says, "Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron." Right. So just like how we heard about how that stone is going to break into pieces all of those different kingdoms, that's exactly how the Lord is going to put the nation of Israel in the power seat. With authority and power. It says, "Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like the potter's vessel." And that's exactly how that image, in a dream that Nebuchadnezzar had was destroyed. You know what I'm saying? As a potter's vessel. You know what I'm saying? You can imagine. You know what I'm saying? It's shattering all together. You know what I'm saying? But that was talking about separate specific kingdoms. You know what I'm saying? That will come to power in this set time. You know, it says "Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings, be instructed, ye judges of the earth." Right, and the Lord and the scriptures did call us judges. The scriptures say, "You shall judge angels." You know what I'm saying? Um, but this is First Corinthians chapter. Actually, that was it on that. Let me see.
I got something for you because you said something about you basically pulled out the how that stone was gonna break down the kingdoms. This Revelations 19:12. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he had many crowns. This talk about Yahweh Shah.
Water.
Because he had many crowns on. Because of what? Because he took over all these kingdoms, all these different nations that's on top, that's ruling right now. First and foremost, America, starting with America. And he's gonna take the rulership over, man.
Right, I found what I was looking for. When you go back to the book of Daniel, chapter 2 and verse 35, the last couple sentences, it says, "And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth." Right. So when Yahushua comes back and he takes many crowns, when we come back to the earth to establish the kingdom, it's going to fill the whole earth. There's going to be no more. It ain't going to be no Roman Empire on the side over here, or no. The whole earth is going to be under the establishment of one government, of one kingdom, of one mountain. You know, and that's going to be. You know what I'm saying, the kingdom of heaven once again. You know, but you had anything else?
No.
Well, that's pretty much it on that. Lord's willing, that was edifying to why the other shop. Give me a spirit. Honor, praise, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Bakakodash. To this, I'm going to say Shalom.
Shalom.